Firstly, I have to say I have no jurisdiction in Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, the south of Ireland. But one of the cases that I'm looking at is a case known as the Glenanne Gang. We've identified 127 murders that the Glenanne Gang were responsible for in the 70s. One of those attacks was the worst atrocity actually on a given day during the conflict was the Dublin Monaghan bombings on the 17th of May 1974. Dublin and Monaghan in the south, not the north. But the offences were committed by a loyalist paramilitary organisation, so on the other side to the IRA, who basically drove car bombs down to the south, Friday afternoon, busy Dublin afternoon. There was a bus strike, lots of people walking around, trying to get in and out of Dublin city centre, when 3 bombs went off in Dublin and 1 in Monaghan, and 33 people were butchered. And many, many life-changing injuries. In fact, there was one family, a husband and wife and their 2 small children, who were killed. And that particular attack, and it reinforces some of the issues that I've mentioned about now, because this isn't just a North and the RUC, the Royal Ulster Constabulary issue. That particular act, the Garda, and I have sympathy for all the different perspectives here, but the Garda closed the investigation in the Dublin bomb attacks that occurred on the 17th of May. They closed that investigation on the 11th of August of that year. Monaghan, which was 1 car bomb, the same afternoon, on the 17th of May, that investigation closed on the 7th of July. Now that's probably the biggest attack that there has been for the nation of Ireland that they've experienced. And not a lot of other work happened after that. Nobody prosecuted for those crimes. Now those families listened to the Prime Minister that night on the television, the Taoiseach, say that no stone would be left unturned. One family member, when I first met him, who still never met a Garda to talk about this, he survived, and nobody's asked him if he saw one of those cars parked, all the basic inquiries you'd expect to ask a survivor of a crime like that. Did you see this particular car? Did you see who was driving it? He said he doesn't think he knows of 1 stone that the Garda actually picked up. Never mind, no stone would be left unturned. And that has left such a difficult psychological barrier between those families and the authorities. And we've now gone down there, and in fairness to the Irish government, they've introduced some new legislation to give me information, which we have faced some real challenges with getting recently, but there's a new law in Ireland to share information with me now. Those families, we can recover this situation, we can put it right, as Jon has sort of described. That obligation is there still on governments, but we need to act now before it's too late. It'll be 50 years in the anniversary for that offence in 2024. The anniversary falls on a Friday. The memorial for that offence is outside a pub and people use it to urinate on, and it's not a very good memorial. And there's an organisation called Justice for the Forgotten about those victims, and you couldn't really get a more suitable name for those victims. And it's now 2022. So I think the work we're doing is putting a lot of these issues, or recovering a lot of these issues, but it's far harder than it should be. And I know Maria has a personal experience with regard